In today's video, we will be getting every single camo for the newest sniper in BO6, ranging from 100 critical kills all the way to Nebula in just one game. And once again, this can be done without using your weapon. Alright, so for starters, let's talk about game setup. The first thing I definitely suggest you bringing in with you is obviously the gun that you want to use. So any gun that you want to get all the camos for and level up to Nebula. And for tacticals, I definitely suggest you bringing in a decoy or something like that. And for lethals, you are absolutely going to need the Molotov. So make sure you bring in the Molotov with you, or you can always go to the crafting table and craft one later if you forget. Then for pre-game setup, you're going to want to go into your Vulture Aid augments, and you want to use the Picky Eater augment. What this one does is basically every zombie you kill has a higher likelihood of dropping the equipment that you're using. So when you're killing, hundreds and hundreds of waves of zombies, it's more likely that they're going to drop Molotovs and more decoys for you, just so you can continue the strat without having to keep crafting Molotovs. Last but not least, I definitely recommend using Aether Shroud with the major augment of extra charge, which will basically just give you 2 charges of your Aether Shroud, because there are definitely going to be some situations where the fire trap runs out and you need to just jump into Aether Shroud to get out of that situation you're in. Okay, so for early game, there's nothing really special you need to do. You just kind of need to go through the rounds. You need to get your game set up. You of course want to go for perks, and you definitely want to prioritize getting your gun maxed out, because the way that this works now with the nerf that they implemented is the trap, when you go ahead and use the fire trap, it's gonna scale based on the damage of your weapon. So if you have your gun max rarity, legendary, if you have a triple pack-a-punch, the actual trap is gonna do more damage than it would if your gun was just basic. So definitely maxing out your gun. Just going through the rounds, I think I can skip ahead here. I think around round 16 or so, you can actually start doing the trap method and start getting your kills that way. But up until then, you can definitely shoot to get your critical kills right here in the beginning in the setup. Okay, so fast forward, here we are in round 16. I came down here just to get armor and pack-a-punch. And I do have perks, so like I said in the setup, you definitely want to have Vulture Aid by now with that augment, so you can replenish your Molotovs when you use them. And another thing I definitely suggest doing before you get to the trap method is building the swords. Not necessarily building them, but presenting the stamps to every single sword, which will just get the bucket heads to stop spawning in. Because if the bucket heads are spawning in, they do get damaged by the trap, but they don't insta-die like every other zombie. So definitely doing that. And now making our way over here, and this is actually the first time in this game that I'm doing the trap. So all you're going to want to do if you come to this side, you throw your Molotov down after you activate the trap. It'll ignite the oil, and now whatever gun you're currently holding in your hand, you'll get critical kills for that weapon. So here I am on round 18. As you can see, this gun, at the very beginning I had no critical kills with it, and we're going through the rounds, we're getting our camos, we're getting our critical kills. You're just going to want to bounce back and forth from each trap. So this trap over here is one of the fire traps, and then the other one you're going to want to run over to the right side over here and do the same exact thing on this trap. And when you get into the higher rounds, it'll start taking probably 1 or 2 uses of each trap to get through the rounds. But in these beginning rounds, early rounds, you can get through a whole entire wave with 1 use of the trap. And you're just going to rack up your criticals. You're just going to stand here. The zombies won't be able to hit you. It'll one-hit all the specials, all the doppelgas, all the amalgams, and you should see that camo pop right here. So let's fast forward again. I'm now on round 46. I have the Rampage Inducer going just to make the rounds go quicker. And on the last clip I was on round 19 and I had got 400 critical kills. In this clip right here, round 46, I am going to get the 2,000 critical kills. So that'll pop here. And what's nice about this gun in particular is the challenges for the special camos are actually doable with just the trap. So on some of the guns you'll come across, it's going to want you to get kills with, ammo mod. So if it wants you to get kills with napalm burst on, then that's something that the trap won't be able to accomplish for you. So just make sure you go ahead and do those, maybe jump into a game on a lower round just to get those done. But if it's an easy one like 75 armored kills or something like that, you can get that done with the trap as well. So now that we've finished all the critical kills, you can see it only took me one more round, so from round 46 to round 47, to complete both of the special camos. They were very easy, it only took one wave of zombies, and you can see them both pop right here. So next up are all the specials. We need to get Gold, Opal, Afterlife, and Nebula. So now that we are into the higher rounds, I just want to give a couple of extra tips and tricks because it does get a little bit more hectic, especially with the Rampage Inducer on. They're going to come very fast, and when you're in the higher rounds, it does spawn more parasites as well. So those are annoying because obviously they're not going to get hit by the trap. So two things you can do is if you're using a weapon like this, you can of course just shoot them and get them killed like that. But since you are using that Vulturade augment, you can continue to throw your decoys at the trap, like right in the fire, and they will fly and the fire will burn them. So that's another option you can deal with the parasites. And as you saw in this clip right here, it only took us to round 49 to get gold from a gun that had 0 critical kills at all. So might seem like a lot, but I'd say it's probably like an hour and a half in-game time, and total for us to get Nebula, probably 2 hours total with the Rampage Inducer on and not even having to shoot your gun. So now that we've got gold, obviously next up is Opal. And Opal is basically, you're going to just need to get 30 special kills, which are the Doppelgasts on Citadelle. So this took a little while. As you saw in the last clip, we were on 49. And we're going to pop it here on this clip right here on round 55. This is a great way to do it because, like, you know, as I mentioned, you really only have to kill the parasites and not really worry about anything. And when you get into these 50s and 60s rounds, you're going to get a ton of Doppelgast spawning in. And by the way, another side note too is when they pop like that and hit you with their spikes, don't really worry about that. It'll damage you a little bit, but you can eat the damage up. So just go ahead and eat the damage up on that, get all these 30 special kills, and Opal should pop right here in this clip. Okay, so now we're on to the Afterlife camo. So for this camo, you're going to want to get 20 consecutive kills without taking damage, and you want to do that 10 times. This can be a little bit difficult when you get into these higher rounds because you're going to have the parasites hitting you. You're going to be taking damage from the Doppelgas when they get killed and they explode. But as you can see, it only took me, 3 rounds to get it done, even while taking damage like this. You'll see that the Afterlife still pops because you're getting so many kills from the zombies running into the trap. Alright, so we're finally on to Nebula. For Nebula, this one's going to take the longest of any camo. As you guys know, you're going to need to get 10 elite zombie kills for this camo. So that's going to be, on this map in particular, it's going to be the amalgams. Now, in order to cheese this a little bit, what I was doing at least is, there are other ways you can jump into other modes and do it that way, but I just wanted to do it on this one map in this one game. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a bug round. So this bug round is going to come in every 5 rounds. And the round right after that usually spawns an amalgam. Sometimes you even get 2 amalgams that spawn in. It is just luck, it's RNG. But what's good about this is after you kill those 2 amalgams, you can actually save the game and quit. And when you get back into that same save game, you should at least get 1 more amalgam to spawn in. The only side note I would keep in mind is that when you save and you reload back in, for some reason the buckethead zombies do start spawning again. So you do have to deal with them. So with that in mind and redoing those amalgam rounds, it took me to round 73 to finally get this one gun Nebula, which all in all, like I mentioned before, it probably took about 2 hours of actual in-game time, but that's without even needing to shoot really, just needing to shoot parasites and letting the trap really get most of the kills for me. So that's how I got Nebula done in one game. If there's any questions or anything like that, just let me know down in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next. Thanks for watching.